Today, on the Tim Marner Podcast Show, I've got my friend, my mate, Rudy Foy, tattoo artist, general crazy motherfucker.
Hello. How you doing, alright?
Now, the nice thing is Rudy's just had a tattoo done, so he's feeling a little bit sensitive and a little bit, what should we say, watered down. So you might get a watered down Rudy Foy version.
Yeah.
It might be a good thing.
Oh yeah, it will be. I'm diluted, mate. I am really diluted.
Diluted.
Honestly, I'm not even kidding. I'm just like, I just want to crawl up and die.
Talk to me about, I don't think I've asked you this question about like what Rudy were like at school.
Arsehole, mate.
Where?
Yeah, I was an absolute penis.
In what respect?
I was just dead stupid, like really stupid. I remember I shoved a compass up my maths teacher's arse because she was leaning over between the desks.
Yeah.
And she was helping someone else, and her arse just went like that, right into the face. So I just grabbed the compass, fuck off, and jabbed it up there.
No, you
didn't. Yeah, I did, indeed. Yeah.
How old were you when you did that?
I don't know, like 14, 13, something like that. Yeah. It was bad, very bad, mate. Yeah, I think I got suspended for it. Yeah.
Suspended?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, you got away with that. I thought you would have been like thrown out.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, I like all, them report cards you have in high school. Right?
Yeah.
I was on red all the time. And you get like green, amber, red.
What's the reason for that?
What, the report cards?
I think the reason for you being the way you are and being rebellious and just kind of...
I don't know. I'm just a very strong, opinionated person. And when something doesn't really work in some respects or something's fucking annoying me, I have to like change it. If I don't change it, I'm just a 10 times worse person. So that comes down to absolutely anything, you know.
Because me and you talk about obviously getting out of that. Look, there's no harm in you being you and stuff, mate. But like without structure, you're just like you're like a wildfire, aren't you?
Yeah, man, I'm like a slinky, just.
Yeah.
Just bounce around everywhere. Oh, that hurts so much.
What's changed recently for you to kind of stop you doing that? Because like your head's like...
Yeah, it's screwed on. I say my head's screwed on. It's always been screwed on in like a business sort of way. So when it comes down to, anything to do with my career and my passion for artwork, nothing's going to get in the way. I've ended relationships. I've sacked mates off. Yeah. Just to benefit myself in the long run.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, like sometimes I really did regret it. Really did regret it. And you'll kind of want to go back and try and pick up old things and stuff and just try and get your old person, like the old person who was with that person back, if you get what I mean. So I've done that. I've tried going back and doing all that, and then you kind of just have like a moment of clarity in your head, sort of. So when something doesn't work out in that respect, and you don't go back, or if you try to go back and it doesn't happen, I always get that clarity of fucking hell, right? I'm really happy I didn't actually do that. I'm happy I didn't go back. I'm happy. All the personal stuff in my life has kind of worked out the way it has.
Have you always known you're different than other people? And I don't mean that in a bad way. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just the way you think and stuff like that.
Yeah. Like all my mates were going out doing house parties at like 16, 17, 15, all that stuff. And I was sat at home drawing. I didn't really want to go out. I didn't really see the necessary point in drinking. I just thought it was a load of shite, really. Wasted money, and you're just pissing it out in the morning, and you're really rough. I couldn't think of anything worse, mate.
When did you first start doing your artwork and your art? When was that? You felt that draw to it.
I don't know. As long as I can remember, I'm not even kidding. In primary school, we used to do summer and winter fairs and stuff, and everyone was doing like Huck the Duck, and how many sweets are in the jar. I had my own stall over in the corner, and I was doing Rudy Foy's temporary tattoos.
Really?
Yeah. So I was sticking them little, them stick-on tattoos on people and stuff, and I was walking around the primary school with them all over my forehead and everything. So I don't know. It's really weird because I didn't even notice until my mum brought it up, like, I don't know, about a year ago. I was like, oh, you know, guess what I've just found, and showed me some photos of it, and I was like, holy shit, that's insane. You know, that I've actually, you know, come from doing temporary tattoos as a child to actually doing them as a full-time job and earning a decent wage off it, and, you know, being happy, you know.
What do you love about what you do the most, Rude?
I love the financial independence.
Yeah.
And I love the creativity I can put into a piece. I love the freedom I get. You know, I've never been a person for rules, laws, you know, and just anything that kind of stops you doing kind of what you want to do.
Yeah.
In that respect, don't get me wrong. Like, rules and laws you should abide by, but when they're like unnecessary, you know, like no trespassing in this abandoned building, I'm gonna get over the fence and I'm gonna go and spray paint. As simple as, mate, and you're really not gonna stop me. So, yeah. And you can't catch a gingerbread man. So, there you go.
How did you develop your style then? How did the Rudy Foy style come about?
Fucking hell, fire.
When you were doing...
Deep question. That.
When you were doing your first, like, piece and stuff like that, did you know what style you always wanted to do?
No.
Or have you developed that?
Yeah, I had no idea. Absolutely no idea.
Talk to me out when you first decided, I want to be a tattoo artist. Obviously, it wasn't back 7, you just knew you were doing that.
Yeah.
But when did you know you wanted to become a tattoo artist?
I don't know, 14, 13, something like that.
Yeah.
You know, I used to watch, like, Miami Ink and, you know, everything like that, Ink Master.
Yeah.
And all these really, really corny, terrible TV programmes. But, you know, like Tattoo Fixers, you know, half their work's fucking awful on there, I'm not going to lie. But it was you know, someone's coming in with a problem, you know, for a cover-up, for instance. Oh, shit, I've got a really bad tattoo. I'm like, right, okay. What do you want? What can we fit over the top of it? Give them solutions to the problems. And then, all in all, you kind of create this beautiful piece of artwork over something that was a problem to someone. And I think that's a lot more rewarding than doing any job. You know, you've turned someone's misery into a positive outcome. So... in that respect, I really do enjoy my job.
There's a lot of stigma and there's a lot of tattoo artists have got like a bit of ego that they won't do something like that.
Yeah, man. Some people got a rod up their arse with
it. Why is that?
It's just because, you know, some people build a very notorious reputation, and then they'll like filter all of their clients out that they don't really like or don't really want to do the artwork that they're doing on them.
Right.
Which I get in some respects. You know, if I've got someone in and I'm tattooing them and I don't really want to do the tattoo, I won't do it because I don't see the point in it. You know, I know that someone down the road or over in a different country or, you know, different part of the UK is going to really enjoy that piece.
Yeah.
So I'd rather hand it over to them, you know, and they just do vice versa, you know. Like, oh shit, you know, I don't really enjoy that piece, but such and such he'll really enjoy that, really dig it.
So tell me about your style then, and how you developed that, and how did it start, and how's it turned into what it is today?
Fucking hell.
Because I remember, you know, sort of meeting you for the first time at
sorry, Mum.
It's alright, mate. At Johnny First. Sorry, Mum.
Yeah, man.
Was that the first?
That was not the first. The first studio was Skin Creations in Macclesfield.
Okay.
On Sunderland Street or something like that.
And what were you doing, an apprenticeship?
Yeah, I was doing an apprenticeship.
And what does that involve, doing an apprenticeship?
Like, you know, sort of, there's multiple different apprenticeships and some people get mugged off. You know, I got really mugged off in my apprenticeship. Some people get a really good apprenticeship. You know, I know a few people have got a really nice apprenticeship. I know some people that have had awful experiences, you know. And it all depends on the studio and who they are as a person, if they actually want to teach you to tattoo. Because sometimes they'll just get you in there just for a fucking laugh and just take the piss out of you all day.
Right.
For free. So, yeah, it's not good. But yeah, no, man was Skin Creations in Macclesfield. They're all right, to be fair. They're a really nice bunch of people. But the owner, I just didn't really get along with him. I didn't really kind of like see eye to eye with him.
That's the thing with you, mate, and it's like you're a bit Marmite, aren't you? You even love your if you can't see past, obviously, you know, when you've got your bravado on, when you're undiluted, version
when
of you.
when
You,
I'm not
you are
knackered.
like Marmot, aren't you?
Yeah.
But you only know that if you don't really know the true Rudy Foy, don't you?
Yeah, man, absolutely.
So you didn't get on with him, and what? You just left there, and
Yeah, I kind of just spoke to him at the end. Like I think I did like almost a full apprenticeship. I didn't really do like everything that you should have done. But I just spoke to him at the end, and we kind of just called it as in like, just don't come back really. You're clearly not like ready for it or whatever. And I kind of just saw that, and I was like, oh, you know what, fuck this, right? If fucking such and such isn't going to give me a tattoo apprenticeship, and they're not going to actually teach me, I'm like, show me how to do it, I'm going to fucking do it myself. So I went out my way. I got my first tattooing machine. I got loads of like pig skin, pig heads, and started tattooing them. Kind of practiced my style. I always knew that I needed to not really tattoo. I needed to draw more, because if I started to tattoo, and I like pick up bad habits, and you wouldn't really, kind of learn as much as you would in an apprenticeship. You learn how to tattoo, obviously, but it's the quality of tattoos that you want to do, so you just gotta fucking find what's right for you, if you get what I mean.
so you started doing that for a bit, and then
Yeah, I was about 15, 14 doing that. And then I finished high school. I kind of like left the apprenticeship, and then I was in college. And then I just got tattooed. I kind of got a fair few more tattoos whilst getting, just building up my portfolio when it came down to drawing and stuff. Don't get me wrong, college helped me out massively with that. I studied a lot of art subjects in college, so I kind of figured out my proportions, how to shade, levels of different levels of composition, contrast, and all like your tones and stuff, blah blah blah. All the painting, fucking jazz, all that. So I kind of learned all that during college, and then I was just getting tattooed. So I got tattooed first. I did my first one on myself. I did an anarchy symbol on my knee because I thought, oh well, cool. And it's shit, like it's so bad.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, it's awful. And then I got tattooed by Egg Ink on my forearm when I just turned 18, and then since then I kind of got I got a few pieces off Charlie Edwards, and he helped me out massively. He used to sit down whilst he was tattooing me and like show me what inks he's using, show me like, all right, so I'm going to dip from my 80 to my 60 now, and I'm going to blend them both in together to create that nice smooth shade. So he really did help me out. You've got honestly, the list goes on and on and on and on and on for the amount of people that have helped me out during it all. But no one did sit down with me and fully teach me everything. There's not one person that I can just take my hat off to and be like, you taught me, because nobody did fully teach me. They taught me bits.
I don't think that'd be good for you either, though, just having one teacher, would it?
Yeah, no,
you need to take something from loads of people.
Yeah,
and I think that's a good thing, because then obviously you find your way of doing it.
You very quickly as
don't
well. Yeah, you find it very quickly, because you're not like some other person isn't like projecting their shit onto you basically. But yeah, so that was that anyway. And then I got offered a junior artist position down in Birmingham, and I think it was the end of Christmas 2020.
How did you get that? Just from somebody seeing you, or you doing your thing where you just badgering the fuck out of people?
Well, someone saw me and then commented on it, tagged me in it, and it said like, oh, this isn't an apprenticeship role. And everyone that I kind of knew and that had been tattooing, like scratching and shit in like kitchens and that, they kind of knew. They were like, he needs to fucking find a place, whether that be a junior artist position or a full-time artist position, it don't really matter. So I saw it down in Birmingham, and then I spoke to the guys at Birmingham, and they're really sound people. So I went down there, and then within, I think, about a week or 2 weeks, it wasn't even 2 weeks now, about a week, I had my own house, and I was tattooing full time. And it's because I went down there with nothing, basically. I just went down there as like one big sponge.
How did you feel at that time? Like, did you feel that you were home? Did you feel that
was fucking nuts? Like, that really blew my mind, that I went from serving pints at a shitty little fucking pub to doing exactly what I wanted to do.
So is that a moment in time that you'll always remember?
Yeah, massively. Going from, checking your fucking, living in your overdraft basically, to having fucking, you can go out shopping every day and you don't really give a fuck. Like, you really don't care. Because you know that tomorrow is going to be another good day. Every day's payday, which is sick. But that's the financial side of things, and the actual personality and the actual creativity sort of way. I was very blocked when I was serving pints and shit. I had a sketch pad that I used to keep in my pocket. So whenever because you in a pubs and shit, you go through like phases of like the night. So you'll have like all the football knobheads come in, and you'll serve them the pints, and they'll fucking keep coming back, blah blah blah. Then you'll get all like people at 9 o'clock, and then people at 11 o'clock, and then people at 1 o'clock. And, between them, you could kind of just sit down. Well, not sit down, but like I'd stand behind the bar and I'd pretend to be on the register, and I just had my sketch pad out there, and I'd just be quickly fucking sketching an eyeball or doing a new tag or, anything really. I used to draw absolutely fucking anything. I used to draw like champagne bottles and cocktails and stuff, and just things that I could see around me and stuff. So that kind of helped me out and kind of gave me that initiative to kind of look around, and not just go on the internet and find some fucking stupid photos or something and copy them. It was taking in your surroundings and then producing artwork due to that, or music, listening to music and sitting down and just kind of listening to the words, listening to the beat, how it hits you, and then you kind of just, it sounds so weird, but it's like crack cocaine, mate. I'm not even kidding. As soon as you shoot up, you're gone. And as soon as that pencil touches that paper, you're gone. Nobody is distracting me for a good 6 hours.
That's amazing, mate.
Don't get me wrong, it's a gift, but it's a fucking curse at the same time.
Yeah. What do you mean by that when it's a curse?
So, it's
give me an example.
Well, it's a massive gift, and I could never get rid of it. I could never be like, you know what, I'm going to give up artwork.
Yeah.
Because, I couldn't do that. Yeah, not a chance. But it is a curse, it's ruined past relationships, big time. Absolutely big time. I haven't had enough time to dedicate to certain people and, their certain needs. And I really do apologise to them people that I have done that, because, I don't want to do that. But, it's the fucking late nights, and you're up at night and you're just wondering, what the fuck are you doing with yourself? Why the fuck aren't you doing that job that you want to do? Why aren't you earning the money that you want to earn? Oh, it's my job. Oh, excuses. Fuck that. Get off your ass and literally go and do it. If it doesn't work out.
The problem with it is, mate, that you've got that beautiful mindset the same as
it's
mine.
It's the get up and go, it's the fight or flight.
Yeah, if the person that you're with or the what's it doesn't understand that, that's really where the problem is.
That's exactly what it is, mate, yeah. And no matter how much...
Or friends, relationship, whatever.
Absolutely, yeah. I've lost a lot of friends, like a lot of friends, I used to be the most unhappiest person, but I'd have like 40 mates.
Yeah.
I have 2 friends now. Fucking 2. And I hardly see either of them. I see Ryan downstairs every day, and that's it. And then one of my other mates, he's a tattoo artist in Altrincham, and I haven't seen him in like 6 months. I speak to him occasionally, but we're both just cracking on with what we want to do, and we don't have to speak.
But your real true friend is art, is it not?
Yeah. My like go to.
It'll never
fucking
be disloyal. It'll never disrespect you. It's like it's always there when you need it.
Absolutely, mate. And I'll always come to it in every single emotion that I'm feeling, whether I'm crying my eyeballs out, or whether I'm really angry, or whether I'm just really happy. And you will see a massive difference in your artwork when you're trying to project your emotions into it. Yeah. And you'll.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about your style, and let's talk about, because like I look at it, mate, and I can see the emotion in there. Yeah. There's I feel that there's a lot of darkness in it, but there's always one glimmer of hope, one glimmer of light. Always that. Yeah, man. What darkness is going, there's always a little bit of hope in it.
Sorry, fucking hell. I just down that brew then. Right. So. With my artwork and with my actual concepts, I take inspiration from a lot of people and I see their artwork, and I'm like, holy shit, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, I wish my pieces could, you know, be something along them lines or something like that. And then fairly recently, I've sat down and I've just been, you know what, fuck it. And I've just been like, my artwork will reach that level however much energy I want to put into it. So if I don't put any fucking energy into it, and I sit around and do fuck all, I'm not going to reach that level.
Yeah, talent without hard work is nothing.
Exactly. So I just got up out of my way and dedicated a lot of time towards it, to actually understand where, like, what I want my artwork to project. There is a lot of darkness. There is a lot of darkness inside my pieces. You know, whether it be some fucking skull with like loads of like dripping flesh off it, or, you know, an anatomical heart with loads of blood pouring off it, or just anything sort of dark. But I can turn something really nice, so like a really nice woman's portrait, and it looks all like holy, and, you know, everyone's like, oh wow, that's beautiful. I'm gonna fuck it up really bad, and that's me saying I'm gonna fuck it up is the majority of people's opinions. Yeah,
the perspective on what you think is beautiful.
On artwork, yeah. Every single bit of artwork is just perspective. You know, some people might hate a piece of artwork, some people might love it, and that's how people pay so much for certain bits of artwork. And that's how you kind of establish yourself as an artist. You don't really look at trends going around and stuff, because I couldn't really care. You know, I'll post up on Instagram, I'll chuck a few hashtags in there and stuff, and I'll see whatever happens. But I'll always post my best artwork, and the artwork that speaks to me. So, you know, for everyone out there that I haven't posted your artwork, I do apologise. But it was probably more your idea than mine, so that's probably why I haven't posted it. Still a sick tattoo, so, you know, we're sweet. But yeah, so I always post the pieces that are more my style, and I've had a lot more input on than, you know, oh, how much for this, pal? You know, it's on my hand and I want my daughter's name on it, and fuck off, mate. No. You know, you should, when it's, for me, fucking hell, it's so hard to explain.
I get it, mate. It's hard
it's
because,
so hard,
yeah, of course it is.
So many emotions, and so much shit that comes into just artwork itself. It's like, I don't think when I do it. I just don't think.
You just feel it.
I just feel it, and obviously trying to put a word to that feeling is virtually fucking impossible. You know, it just makes you feel whole as a person. You know, whether you've had like a really shit argument with your missus.
Well, that's good. That's great. Any art, that
man.
Any piece of art makes you feel something, and that's what you want. You know, you look at your piece, and I'm hit with the darkness. But I don't know. A few pieces have really resonated with me, and I'm just like, it kind of.
What pieces? Do you know off the top of your head?
Not off the top of my head. I can't remember which bloody one it was, but they were. I feel like it was an octopus, but.
Oh right, yeah. I've done like octopus concepts, and it's that one I think you're on about. It's a skull with a heart.
That's
and there's
it.
all like tentacles and
that's
shit.
That's it.
Yeah.
So
my client came in for that, and he said, "I really want Pirates of the Caribbean sort of sleeve, but I don't want any characters in it. I don't want a single face in it. But I want it to scream Pirates of the Caribbean." So I was like, "Well, fuck. How am I supposed to do that? I can't put Johnny Depp on someone's arm now. You know, I have to fucking like." I was like, shit, that's going to be a little bit hard. But then at the same time, I was like, holy fucking crap, I've been given a golden nugget here. You know, I've been given that creativity. You know, I've been given that opportunity to really show my creativity. So, you know, I took a skull reference. The design was fucking awful. I'm not going to lie, the design was awful. I had a photo of a skull, I had a photo of a heart, and then I stenciled it up, I stuck it on his skin, and he was like, oh, right, okay. And then I got my Sharpie out, and I just went mad. I just went mad with like tentacles wrapping it around and kind of building it up as a piece. And then probably took my time with the actual piece and tattooing it, and I had a really good time. You know, he's a really good guy, to be fair. Had a really nice deep chat with him whilst we were cracking on with it all. And obviously, as you can tell, the finished outcome does touch people. You know, it has touched you. So you have. Yeah,
it's just I got this.
You had the Rudy Foy touch.
Not physically, that's metaphorically, just to let everybody know, okay? But it's like
PG.
because of the tentacles and it like I felt this kind of suffocation of like getting trapped, but then you've also got this heart of love and the skull representing death and the you know what I mean. So it's dark, but I've that heart just gave me that little glimmer of like you know love can be like love can be like that sometimes.
Yeah, man. There's always light at the end of a tunnel.
Yeah.
You know, whether it works out or not, you know, you will come out better as a person.
Yeah.
You know, whether it all goes tits up in your mind, in your opinion.
Yeah.
You know, or whether it works out in the way you want it to work out.
Yeah.
You know, but you will always come out stronger as a person, and I think that's happened with me. You know,
but that's what I mean. That it speaks in your artwork when you're doing it.
Man,
that it's got that kind of message in each one, really.
Yeah, man. You just I don't know. It's fucking hard. It's hard to like kind of pinpoint how I've done it because I kind of just.
I think there's a lot of emotion and stuff within your artwork that maybe
you're.
Because you're not thinking about it, you're actually putting it in by feeling in, and then it's talking back to other people, your actual emotions.
Yeah.
So maybe that's how it's come to it, just by feeling.
Yeah, I do put like a fair fucking bit.
Because since I've known you 2 years now, I've seen you come into in that 2 years come into your own. Yeah, obviously, man. You know, moving with Ryan to amazing person to be with as well.
Yeah, man, sick. Yeah, I can't honestly thank Ryan enough.
Yeah.
You know, we've made this studio from the ground up, and the sky's not even the limit with this.
It's like having a really good brother next to you, innit?
Yeah, man.
Because he's got a really good head on his shoulders, hasn't he?
Yeah. Nah, he's very. He's very.
Shout out to Ryan. If you're watching this, Ryan, shout out to you, mate. Got a lot of time for your brother.
Yeah, man. He's a good lad. Very good lad indeed. Ryan's. I never used to like Ryan, you know.
Did you not?
Nah, when I first joined, I thought he was a dick.
In what respect? Why? Why?
He was just like, I think a person. So I know when people are pushing, you know, they're trying to put fronts on, and you can tell they've got a fair bit going on deep down inside.
Yeah.
And for me, I just want the person to like open up and fucking tell me about it all, you know, so we can sort it out.
And that's because you're heart on sleeve guy. Ryan's not like that.
And become, you know, a better person in the long run for it. You know, it's took Ryan a fair bit of time to actually open up and, you know, speak to me about things in his own little way. But yeah, when I first met him, I was like, fuck me, just fucking talk, you know, become yourself. Yeah. And I could just tell. But since we've got this studio and since a lot of things have happened, me and Ryan have become really tight.
Yeah, that's because really you've earned his trust.
Yeah, man.
Well, I'm like you, mate. I've got my heart on my sleeve, and I'll just kind of trust everyone until they prove me wrong.
Exactly.
With Ryan, you've got to really earn his trust.
Yeah, man.
And obviously, try to trust somebody like you it's a
fucking challenge, mate.
Challenge.
Must be an absolute challenge. But you know, some people do it, and I really do appreciate the people that do. And I really do appreciate the people that do put the time and the energy.
It's good, mate, because like, you know, even though that it's nice that you're in Ryan's life as well. I mean, I've told you this, that, you know, I want to get him out of his box a little bit and get him on videos and stuff. And he has got that little bit of thing, having someone like you to help.
I'll just kick his ass.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, right, we're going to go and fucking do
But that's what it's about, is it not? Having those people around you, man.
Ryan's a massive introvert, so he'll like, you know, have all this massive, amazing shit going on in his head, and he just won't tell anyone about it. Yeah, that's so fucking annoying, mate, honestly. Whereas I'm like, as soon as I get an idea, I'm straight away, I've pinged it out. Yeah. Everyone's heard it. Let's hear some opinions back. You know, let's just start going. I don't know. It's so weird. Yeah. And
well, I told him about the coach house. About getting that. Well, let me think about it.
I was fuming with him. Honestly, I wanted to punch him so hard when he told me that. He was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it for a bit." And we're both there. We're both just like, "What the fuck are you doing, Ryan, mate? Come on."
I know, but on the other side of it, he plans. Yeah. He's got all his council tax. He's got all his, you know, that. I know.
That blows my head off. Absolutely blows my head off.
And people like that. That's why they are the way they are, because they can do shit like that with me, and I'm just like, oh, you fucking...
Yeah, man.
My business partner's like that, and he's just like, he sorts all that out.
Yeah.
I'm just like a fucking loose cannon.
I just have a look at the envelope and that.
Yeah, whatever.
Sweet, how much?
Let's talk about the Sorry Mum thing. So how did you get into Johnny? So you're down in Birmingham, you were doing that, and then...
even before all that, I went to Johnny for an apprenticeship when I was like 17, 18. So it was after my apprenticeship anyway.
Yeah.
And then I went to Johnny's and I was like, yo, you know, I want to fucking get in. And there was like four, maybe 500 candidates that actually did apply for the apprenticeship. And I got picked, I think I was second out of these fucking like 400 or 500 candidates and all this shit. And we went down for the interviews, and he picked some other lad, and it didn't really work out. Basically, long story short. And then I was tattooing in Birmingham. He's obviously seen that, you know, he's still following me on Instagram, so he's seen that I've, you know, pulled my finger out my arse and I've actually gone and done it, you know, either with him or not. You know, it don't really matter, because that's just the way I think. Yeah. So I've done that, and then he's belled me when I was in a right little pickle with the studio down there and all that stuff. You know, it was middle of lockdown. I was like, fuck this. You know, I'm miles away from anyone that I actually know. You know, and obviously in the middle of lockdown, you couldn't really do anything. I wasn't tattooing. You know, there was so much shit. So it was just kind of like a lifeline that he was like, you know, do you wanna come up? And then so I ended up going, yeah, sweet. So
after lockdown, everything calmed down.
Yeah,
you started that.
Yeah. So I moved out of Birmingham. I left that studio, and then I started at Johnny's. And then Johnny, Ryan, Rick, Kirsty, Dean, fucking Dom, loads of people, you know, so many fucking people. I've always had an input on my artwork, and I've always had that like shoulder to, you know, be like, oh, yo, how you doing? You know, that artwork's fucking sick. Always like inspiration around me. So I have grown as a person very quickly. So when I'm looking at like other 21-year-olds my age, you know,
no.
I ain't got a fucking...
I mean, just from an emotional awareness, mate. You know what I mean? I've talked about it before. I wish I had this emotional awareness when I was your age. It's like, fucking amazing. Honestly, it's amazing. Just the way you are, how deep you are and stuff, and how you think about life and doing the right thing and always doing your best. You know what I mean? Getting your head down and grafting.
Yeah,
is like, and that what I was saying the other day about like discipline eats motivation for breakfast.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're not motivated today, but like you're still here. You're fucking disciplined, like, you know what I mean. That's exactly what it's like.
Hanging out my arse, mate.
That's who you are, mate. That's exactly who you are.
I'm still gonna get tattooed. I'm still gonna do tattoo design.
Yeah. That's what I've got massive respect for you for that, brother.
I really do appreciate that.
You going home and obviously, you know, going through a bit of a thing at the minute.
Yeah.
And, you know, but you're still fucking doing your work. You're still turning up. You still show up.
Yeah, man. You just got to keep to a schedule, you know. And then all the emotions that you do feel whilst you're in the moment, or you know, when I'm tattooing and nothing's really going on and I'm just deep within my head. Yeah. You know, I'll go home and I'll just get a canvas out and I'll just go fucking mad. Yeah. You know, I did it with my wall. You know, everyone was like, fucking hell, that's different. And I was like, I didn't want any structure to it. You know, I spend all day doing clean line work, soft shading, making sure everything's bang on point. And just to have that release of, you know, fuck it, I'm going to do artwork and I'm going to do it however the fuck I want. I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to let any input. I'm just going to speak with my emotions. So I did the wall in my bedroom and it came out fucking nuts. You know, there's so much shit going on and it's all cut up.
Is that one where you did loads of tags over it?
Yeah, that's the one, I did loads of tags, I did loads of like calligraphy and shit. I chucked up some like little throw-ups and stuff in there and stuff. It was just kind of getting back to the roots of actually doing artwork, because I was just, you know, when I was you know, previously, I was just tattooing all day. I'd come home and then, you know, I'd crack on with this Rudy that's not me, you know. And I kind of, don't get me wrong, at first I loved it, you know, and there was an amazing experience and it was awesome. And then over like the past like 3 months before, obviously, you know, it all like ended, I kind of just sat there and I kind of just thought to myself, I was like, I'm not getting where I want to get. I'm not being the person that I want to be. I don't mean it in a dickish way. Yeah. But I think, you know, and I'm not kidding, it broke my heart. Like, really did break my heart. And sometimes you really do just have to put yourself through that struggle to get to that next stage in life and get to that next level, you know, that people fucking go on about. And it is true, you know, my artwork has increased massively. My mindset has increased insane amounts. You know, I've become more whole as a person. I've actually dug down deep within myself and sort of found myself a little bit. Not too much, because I don't want to do it all in one big go. You know, I just want to chip away at it. There's no point.
It's sick, mate. Yeah, I mean, you're 20 fucking one, man. It's just like, even to talk like this is amazing, brother. You know, honestly, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's just like, you don't need to do it all at once. Just do little small,
just chip away
manageable side. Just keep chipping away.
Just chip away at it. But whatever feeling you do get, I always listen to my heart. I listen to my head.
Yeah.
And then I'll just sit on it for a fair few days, and then I need to do the right, like, conscious decision.
Do the right thing.
Yeah.
And do my best.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I always come back to that, no matter if I'm with a decision, what's it? What,
so
am I doing the
like,
right thing? Am I doing a bit? I'm not. Right, okay, well, I need to address this. Yeah. It's really important.
Yeah, man. But it's finding the root of your problem as well, because you can fucking do so much stuff. You know, you could do everything, leave your job, all this, and you might not be whole as a person.
Yeah, that's just a plaster on a gaping wound. Like, you're not
because
like...
you haven't, actually sat down and thought about it. But I think because I have all this spare time to... Well, I say spare time. Just, I'm in my head a lot.
Yeah.
You know, I'm always tattooing, and my arm's doing the fucking work. You know, my
head's kind of going off.
Head's just... You know, I'm absolutely away with the fairies, mate, and I'm creating some fucking tattoo on someone's arm. And I probably shouldn't say that because everyone's probably like, oh, you need to concentrate on the tattoo. But, you see my artwork, so you see how they come out.
Yeah.
And I just kind of just float around in my head and kind of let decisions happen and form and morph, and then I solve them in my head whilst I'm tattooing and shit like
There's
that.
nothing like that flow, is there? When you're in that flow creative state, it's really hard to explain because, to somebody who's not, it's really...
Yeah, like I said, it's
like,
just
what
like
you're
crack.
about.
Yeah, it's like crack, mate. As soon as...
it's a meditative...
It's like you'll never speak to like a proper crackhead, and they'll be like, oh, I hate doing this, and all this. They're always waiting for the next bit. They're always like, fucking hell, it makes me feel this way, it makes me feel that way. I'm the exact same as artwork, so I'm a crack whore for artwork, basically, mate. And
I think I might have called you a crack hole before.
Yeah, man.
To somebody else.
Yeah, and I will never, ever let anything get in its way.
How long does your creative crack hit last when you're on a piece? Because I've got a thing where mine's around an hour and a half, then I'm kind of like, I need to break away from it.
No, don't ever do that.
I have to. I've done it before where I've gone over that threshold. Obviously, everyone's different, right? But I'll burn myself out with it too much.
Right.
So I need to take a break from it for half an hour and then come back to it, and then I have another flow with it.
Yeah, man.
That's just the way
drips and drabs is good. To be fair. I think I started off like that when I was a kid.
Yeah.
When I was I think it was when I was like 14, I was just getting into artwork, and I was like, I would quickly do a graffiti piece.
I can get a lot done in an hour and a half,
Oh, yeah, man, I don't blame you, I probably can't. But
like people it'll take them a day to do what I can do in an hour and a half.
Yeah, there you go.
Just that, I'm cool with that.
Good shit. I don't know. It's so, oh, God.
Yeah.
I don't even know, mate.
Yeah.
It can span from 3 hours to 15, mate.
Wow.
Yeah, it can go a fair fucking bit. And it's all down to emotion. It's all down to how I'm feeling as a person and what's going on in my life to actually be able to put that amount of juice into it, basically.
It's important. That's what I'm saying, aren't we, about the environment you put yourself in for that creative flow to work. The environment, from going to the gym to what you're eating to the relationships you've got romantically and friendships.
It's just your headspace. If you don't have a clear conscience, then you won't be anywhere near as productive.
Yeah.
And if you do feel like you do have problems within your life, you need to really sit down and just think about them and think about what is it and why is it happening? How can I deal with this to benefit myself? That could be anything. It could be absolutely anything, mate. Wear a different pair of shoes. I don't know. It could be anything, mate. Absolutely anything. Have a shower more. Shower twice, 3-4 times a day. If you feel like you're not clean and you're like, oh, I'm dirty, I can't do this. Have a shower. If you feel like you feel amazing when you come out of the shower, do it more.
Talk to me about your routine then. What routine have you got at the minute?
I have no routine whatsoever. And
what's the reason for that?
I don't like routine.
Right.
I hate it. I can't think of anything worse.
Yeah.
I know that I've got a grain of sand for routine.
Yeah.
You've got a fucking beach.
Yeah.
And I've got a grain of sand. The reason being is because I don't feel anywhere near as creative if I have to wake up at 9:30, and I have to be somewhere at certain times, and I have to do this, I have to do that, everything's firing out. If I can just wake up in the morning, nice and gently, have a shower, brush my teeth, go and grab a coffee before work, I can chill out, sit in the studio for half an hour or something, And most of my clients know that I won't start tattooing at 11 o'clock when they come in. I'll start tattooing at about 12, half 12, maybe even 1 o'clock sometimes. And it's because I'm not ready to do it yet. You know, I know I am ready with my head. I know I could just fucking get you in for 11 o'clock. And I know that I could just start
You're waiting for that flow to kick in.
Yeah, man. I'm not going to force it.
Yeah.
Absolutely not, no. You know, I've tattooed people before and I've lasted 4 hours, and it was because I was in a really shit headspace. And they'd be like, oh, you know, I can handle more and and all this. And I'd be like, mate, I'm really sorry, but I don't want to do any more. You know, I'll charge you for the hours that you've done, and I'm going to go and, you know, speak to someone, sort something out, you know, do something. Because if I'm not in the right headspace, mate, you're not getting a good tattoo. And I think that's with anyone.
Yeah.
And it's not the fact of a good tattoo. It's the, you know, I know that if I have a clear conscience, which I fucking really do now, I know that my artwork's got no boundaries. You know, I'm not stuck with walls either side of me.
Yeah.
I'm whole. I'm just like one ball. I roll around and always explore different gateways and everything like that.
Yeah.
You know, I'll take inspiration from absolutely anything. Absolutely anything.
That's what we do with branding, mate.
Yeah,
I totally understand that. But, you know, our branding could take 3 months up to a year, just for the fact of that I'm not feeling it in moments, and we've got to work on it when it feels right, and the emotions there, and I'm connected with that brand, and and that you're asking me to do. Exactly.
It's very hard to tell someone that is very stuck in a regime of, you know what, I'm not really feeling this at the moment, mate.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it another day. Because straight away, for a normal person, that screams, you're fucking lazy, mate. Why aren't you not doing that? You just can't be arsed. No, I can be arsed, mate, because I'm going to go home and I'm going to spend about 6 hours on a painting that I'm actually enjoying, you know? That I'm actually like, you know what, fuck this. I'm going to stop tattooing, I'm going to go home and I'm going to paint, because I feel like that's going to benefit me more as a person. But as well, I don't want to put any more energy into that piece, because I know if I put this energy that I do have into it, it's not going to become what I want it to become.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying about the hour and a half.
So,
any more on that, I'm just like,
man,
it's not going to do that any justice. I need to come away from you. Let me come back to you when I'm right.
Yeah, massively, mate.
It's already there. I know where I'm going with it. Let me do it when I'm emotionally invested, just not doing it just for the sake of doing it, because it's a...
Exactly, mate.
A lot of people don't get that.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
But it's hard for you, because obviously, you know, that person's got a strict amount of time. They come up from London or whatever.
So you kind of have to get yourself in a good headspace to do that.
But this is what I'm saying to you about a structure around your life.
Yeah, man.
Helps you.
Yeah.
Look, listen, whatever your structure is, if you're a night owl, what's it? Right, you've just got to have your routine could be literally, I need to go and get a coffee, and then I need to sit down and just wait for a second. If that's your routine, it's cool. You know, you still got at gym, you get your head right doing that.
I still do my stuff.
It's still a routine, mate.
Yeah, man. It's just not.
It's not regimented with times and stuff like that.
Everyone's routine. It's hardly anyone's routine. And to try and put that into with another person, actually form something together is fucking impossible, mate. You know. The amount of arguments and stuff and shit and just toxicity that would form within friendships, relationships, anything like that.
Yeah.
And it's because the fact that, you know, you're both two individuals that you've got together purely out of passion and purely out of emotion, and I fucking love it. I love that thing. But when you can't do the things that you want to do because you feel like it's going to affect the person in a certain way, that's when you need to address them and actually talk to them about it. And I know that sometimes I didn't. I know sometimes I just kind of went, you know, fuck it. You do you, I'm going to do me. I'm going to go and do some fucking painting. I'm going to do some drawing.
That's the petulant child back in school, though, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. That's the immature side of things where it has stemmed from sometimes. And I feel like I'm a lot more logical when it comes down to thinking now and my decision making. Just purely because I've had a lot of time to think about it. You know, I've been cracking away with these pieces in my new house and stuff, and just chilling out. Really, you know, whacking fucking really old mixtapes on me of really like underground hip hop. You know, which I've hardly ever listened to before, but I'm really fucking with it at the moment. And yeah, I've just had a lot of time. You know, I've kind of distanced myself from everyone. So like, you know, all my mates probably know that I've hardly been fucking talking to them. You know, and I've hardly been normal person, if you want to call it, you know, going out, getting drunk, you know, blah, 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 you know, what every fucker does when they're 21. And I've hardly done that, you know. I've been really focusing on myself and kind of just growing as a person, really. And so it sounds so cringe. It sounds so cringe when I'm saying it, you know, at such a young age.
It's hard, mate, because it's like...
Because I know other 21
It's like the BU hunt quotes and what's it, because as soon as you say it, you go straight to them. That,
yeah, man.
But they don't understand what that takes to actually be...
They haven't reached that level yet. You know, haven't opened themselves up fully yet. And I know that 21-year-olds that watch this, and they're going to see me and they'll be like, what the fuck is that guy on about?
Yeah.
You know, he's saying artwork's like crack. He's saying, you know, everyone's doing all these weird things and he's off on his own fucking path and all this shit. You know, everyone's going to be like, that's cringe as fuck sometimes. But that's, you know, that's because you're insecure and you need to, you know, kind of just be yourself, man. And I've never not been myself. And I've noticed that some relationships have tried to, like, you know, relationships and friendships and everything like that have tried to, like, push me out of being who I am.
Yeah.
So, you know, when I was younger, I used to hit the gym so much and I became massive. I became huge, mate. I was like 14 now. I was like 18 years old. I was 14 stone and I were a fucking tank, you know, but I didn't draw as much as I wanted. So I cut my days down of training. I think I cut them down from like 3 hours in the gym to an hour and a half. And it benefited me more in my fitness as well as it did in my artwork. Yeah. And it's because I wasn't putting too much time into one specific thing. I was still being that free flowing, you know, I'll go there for a bit, I'll do this for a bit. Right. Not having too much
so you kind of structure. Identified you somebody trains that does art where really you're an artist and but I train.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. I can't have a schedule. Because
it's hard with the way you think and stuff like that because you're so it's almost disruptive and you know I was talking to this with my therapist last night about because I'm so disruptive and so rebellious and stuff like that I need safety and I need something secure in my life.
Yeah, no, I'm the exact same, mate. And that really fucks with your head, doesn't it? And you kind of like start thinking. Like,
or like training for you was like a bit of stability. I'm doing that, and it overcomes your identity. Where really, I'm kind of not tapping into the other bit, so you end up going back there, but doing it kind of more. Then you come back here, and it's just like just get the balance right, Tim. Get the fucking balance right.
Yeah, it's just figuring out how you want to do it.
So as I start to look at the relationships and the people I've got around me, you know, my business partner, for instance.
Yeah, man.
He challenges me. He disrupts me.
That's exactly what you need.
But I'm always feel safe with him. I always know he's going to be loyal.
Perfect, mate.
Same with Gaz.
Same with Ryan and me.
Yeah.
Man, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? And then I look at other relationships where I've got a relationship that made me feel safe, but they've not challenged me.
Yeah, no, that's...
So I'm like, wait a minute.
Fucking hell, that it there, mate.
Yeah.
Jesus, yeah, that's true.
And I'm just like, wait a minute. Yeah.
There's challenging and then there's like, it's forced. You know? I will never do something if it's forced. Yeah. You know, and I'll try and put so much energy into shit and that energy isn't reciprocated or it's not received. Yeah. You know, I won't do it anymore. And it's because I value myself and my time and my emotions and my energy more than that specific thing or something, you know. And I've tried and I won't keep barking up a tree that isn't right for me, you know, or I won't go down a fucking alleyway that isn't right. Yeah. You know, I'm not really feeling it, you know. And it's shit. It's so shit.
Yeah, it's so shit, but
wanked, but you know, you'll lose so many people.
So many.
All of friendships, relationships, ex-partners, everything, man. You know, when I first started tattooing, I was seeing this girl, and she was a really lovely girl. When I first started tattooing back in 2020, I don't know, dating for like 2 months or something, and I told her, I was like, I'm moving down to Birmingham. You know, I need to do this for myself. You know, I've got this one opportunity, and I told myself before that, I said, if I don't start tattooing in 2020, I'm not gonna fucking do it. You know, I was 18. 18.
Where's that drive come from? Where's that vision come from?
It's always been there, mate. I've always had that stimulation to want more out of life, and I think it's because that sometimes I knew that other people were doing better than me, and I knew that other people had what I wanted. Yeah. But figuring out actually what I wanted is a completely different story. So I kind of always...
Do you work best with your back against the wall when everybody's against you?
Yeah,
kind of Rudy's not going to fucking...
Yeah, I'm fucking gonna,
that's what I see myself in you on that note.
Yeah,
I love my back against the wall. Like,
yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah, you can't do that.
What's that?
Are you sure about that, mate? Yeah, watch this. Yeah. Watch this, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, and in 6 months' time, they'll be like, "Oh, wow, that was amazing. You know, well done." And during that process, it's people will question you and tell you can't do that, and then you'll start to do it, and they'll be jealous as fuck. Yeah, and they'll be like, "Oh, fucking, you know, he's just doing that," and then you'll actually get there.
Yeah.
And then they'll want you back.
Yeah.
They'll want you back as a person. But oh my God, you've done so well.
Yeah,
You've gone
Can
so
I tell
far.
you, Rudy?
Yeah, you weren't there when I first fucking started, mate.
Yeah.
You know, you never gave me that.
What do you do in that situation then? So like somebody does that, right, and then they kind of sort of crawl back into your life, and what's your
oh dear.
Where's your mindset when he goes to that?
It depends. So like when I was younger, I had mates that like, you know, didn't fucking speak to me for about 8-9 months, and it was because I moved down to Birmingham, you know, and I was still messaging them, and I was like, oh yeah man, one weekend, you know, I've got this weekend off, I'll come up and we'll go out and do something, you know, like, oh yeah, sound, you know, and then it'll come to the weekend and they'll be like, no, or they just won't reply, you know, or they just won't, you know, be my friends still. If you get what I mean, they don't have that connection there anymore, and it's because they've seen that I'm doing something and they don't like it, you know. And then I'll get there, I'll get the financial freedom, or I'll get what I wanted, and then they'll come back and they'll be like, oh wow, you know, you're doing amazing and all this. When I was younger, I used to call them out on it, and it is a bit of a dickish thing to do. And I just messaged them.
How do you deliver that when you said call? All right, okay.
Yeah, not in a nice way.
Right.
Just because I like we've both said, you know, you wear your heart on your sleeve, and I will always project my feelings, no matter if they are received and if they're not, and if they're right. So like that comes back down to like, you know, I am a bit opinionated when it comes down to things, and I am trying to work on that. You know, and I'll just call them out, and I'll be like, oh, you know, you weren't really my mate whilst I was doing all this, you know. Some of my mates were, you know, and they'd be like, yo, that sketch is sick, you know, you're gonna smash it. And you get motivation off them, and they're true, real people. And it's if they stay consistent with it, you know, and you kind of notice who's actually a real friend during all that. They're either going to support you, or they're just going to kind of like let you go and do your own fucking thing. You know, and they're just going to be like, oh well, you know, he was here, he was in, you know, fucking Whaley Bridge or something. You know, he was there, you know, we did see him quite a bit, but you know, he's gone off and he's done these things, you know. That's it. And that's a whole journey of life. You know, you will meet people, and you know, you might meet the right person, but it'll be the wrong time. Yeah. Everything. It's all.
How do you approach it now then with somebody who kind of does that?
I kind of just.
Do you just let it go, or do you either
I'm going to let it go, or I'm going to speak to them about it. But I'm going to speak to them
and
like,
deliver it.
Very
differently.
And just be like, oh, thanks, man. You know. How's you, blah 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 and all that, and then you're just like, yeah, whilst I was doing this, you didn't really hear off you much and all this, and if they don't really have not like a valid excuse, but if they don't really have an excuse, or like, you're like, oh, you know, I'm just busy with my own stuff, and you're like, oh, sick, you know, congrats, man, you know, I haven't seen any of it, you haven't told me about it, I'm telling you all about the stuff that I want to do, and things that I want to do. To get that energy back, you know, if you bounce a fucking ball, it's going to come back to you. And it should be the same with energy, especially with the people that you care about. You know? It's
hard with you, mate, because it's like...
it's just finding the right people for it.
You've got this beautiful freedom about you, where you've got this vulnerability, where you don't care, and you're kind of just doing what you know, a lot of people want that for themselves.
Oh yeah, man.
And they see it on you. I'm just like, I can't be around Rudy because it almost shows me my unmet needs.
Yeah, man. Shows you your own security sometimes, and I get it with some certain people. You know, I'm so fucking jealous of people that can just work a 9-to-5 job, finish it, and go and live a nice chilled life. I wish I could do that. Genuinely. I really, really wish sometimes anyway.
At times, I get it.
I'm
just
like,
packing shelves at Tesco,
you know?
Counter or something. Yes.
Why do I have so much energy? Why the fuck am I doing this? Yeah. You know, why can't I just have a nice
family life? Why are you going down a rabbit hole with fucking...
Yeah. Why can't I just have a nice family life? And then it just comes down to, that isn't me. It's not me. You know, I don't want that. I'm only saying it because it's security, it's protection.
Yeah.
You know, it's that comfort, it's that lifeline there.
Yeah.
So occasionally, mate, I have to cut it. I have to cut it. And I have to put myself in that situation. Either I'm going to fly, or I'm going to fight, or I'm going to drown, you know. That's it. You're either going to fucking spiral down into a world of abyss.
Poignant that, mate, isn't it?
Yeah. Or you're going to float for a bit and kind of just like let things go.
Yeah.
You're going to start swimming.
Yeah.
And you're going to reach the shore. You know, that's it.
I've cut that line a few times, mate.
Yeah, man. Same. And we both did it pretty recent. 7. Yeah, but you got to do it. You got to do it to benefit both parties in the same respect, because some people will learn from it. Some people will go into a bit of an abyss, but they will learn from it eventually.
Yeah. Because I just like the way my mind works. Like back in my, let's go back to sort of your age. I had a group of friends that I had to cut that line with.
Yeah, man.
I was so different at times and disruptive in my mind and stuff like that. I chose a group of friends that I felt safe with.
Yeah, man. No, I don't blame
and
you.
I'm kind of going out drinking and and just thought I felt part of something, like I fitted in for a bit, and I was like, it's actually quite nice this.
Yeah,
but
it's nice
there was something itching away at me, like, Tim, this isn't you.
Yeah, man.
You can't look at yourself in the mirror. You're not being yourself. And I just had to go dumph, and then fucking put my back against the wall. Okay,
hear all the shit, take
not
all the shit,
again. All the crap. Who's he think he is? Like, fucking hell.
Yeah, man.
Awful. Lonely.
There's
such a big difference with being alone and loneliness. Alone could be me at the top of a mountain, just feel fucking what's it, but loneliness kicks in. It's
loneliness is a big fucking thing for me. You know, I've been feeling very fucking lonely at certain times recently. And that's just because I don't have company. Yeah. You know, but I know if I do have company, I'm not going to be as productive.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to do the things that I want to do.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to spend 6 hours, 7 hours on a painting. You know, because that's not. I can't do that when I've got company. Yeah. You know, because I feel bad on the other person and shit like that. But you know, you just got to fucking do it. I know it sounds really weird, but genuinely, you just kind of have to say fuck it and crack on. Because
for people like me and you, yes,
I just do it.
But there's like Ryan downstairs.
Oh yeah, fucking hell, that's a different person there, mate.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Everyone's different, man.
Everyone's different. And it's like, no matter what advice you give to someone else, you've got to know that works for each individual's got their own routine, their own way that think and stuff like that. But in order to do that, you've got to really understand who you are. And to understand it, you've got to spend a lot of time on your own.
Oh, yeah.
No matter what I did that thing with BBC, mate, and I went, and a lot of kids, because people were asking, what did you want to be when you grew up? I just said, like, I think I wanted to be a pirate. I was just like, and kids were like, well, how do you get to be a pirate? They're all asking.
Put your fucking
I
out,
said,
mate.
the way you get to be a pirate is you got to spend a lot of time on your own.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Right? And there's not one person in here who wants to spend a lot of time on their own because they feel safe with people around you and want to fit in.
That's the whole, like, that is literally embedded into our DNA. You know, that's why we had tribes thousands of years ago, because we were all a collective. Yeah. You know, and then you've noticed recently, and the reason why the human race is kind of expanding so quick is because we've noticed that if we do stick together, we're only going to achieve things very slowly, whereas if we do separate and we do go through that struggle and we get past that barrier in our heads, holy shit, the fucking, it's limitless, absolutely limitless. And that can become everything, you know. Some people could just quit the day job. Yeah. You know, some people could fucking unlock the cure to cancer. Yeah. It's who you are as a person, doesn't really matter. But
I've got this sort of nice balance about it now, Reeds. I've got kind of, I've got you in my life now. I've got like Ryan in my life. I've got Gaz and Lee. And I have that in my life, but I also spend a lot of time on my own. Oh, yeah, I don't need to be around them people all the time. I just take snippets and get enough from that interaction, if it's an hour or whatever.
Yeah, man.
And then I'll just go home and I'll kind of be on my own. So I've got this beautiful balance. So when I do go home, I've had that much interaction and that when I'm going to go home, I don't feel lonely. Because I've had my need of connection.
Yeah, you've filled your tank up with it.
Yeah.
Man. Don't get me wrong, certain days though, I bet you don't.
Yeah.
And you'll go home and you'll sit there like a little cabbage. Yeah. And you won't do fuck all.
Yeah.
Because you haven't had enough.
Yeah.
So you'll have to outsource.
Yeah.
Go and try and do something to make.
Yeah,
fill that void.
I'll ring my mum up.
Yeah, man.
And get
I
that.
ring my dad up.
Get that. Yeah.
I ring my dad up, or I ring Kirsty.
Yeah.
She's like my sister, man. I haven't seen her in ages. I'm going to see her in March, I think, some shit. But I'll ring old friends up, man. And I'm like, holy shit, you know? And I'll be like,
Is that Kirsty from Sorry Mum?
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to Kirsty.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Kirsty. Sick. Yeah. Fucking awesome, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'll just kind of, if I haven't hit that stage, if I haven't hit enough of the social life, because I'm such a bubbly fucking ball of energy, I do need quite a bit of it.
Yeah.
I do need a fair fucking bit of it, but certain days I don't. And I think that's all down to feeling. I think that's all down to what you kind of want to prioritise on them certain days. Because some days I am a bit of a sensitive guy. And yeah, the 21-year-olds watching this, you can be sensitive, mate, and you can cry. You know, men do cry. Simple as. Just got to crack on with it, mate. So yeah, no, sometimes I am a bit sensitive, and sometimes I do want more than what I have received. And that's not me being greedy. I think that's just what's the fucking word? Just wanting more, you know, wanting that stability back, wanting that lifeline back.
Yeah.
But I'll get home and then I'll be like, oh shit, you know, I don't feel whole today. I don't feel like myself. So I'll pick up a fucking paintbrush, mate, and I'll draw. And I promise you, I'll look at my phone, it'll be 3:30 in the morning, you know. I've had my heating blasting for about 9 hours, and I'm like, shit. My gas bill is going to be well high. But I'm nice and warm. I've done a sick painting. You know, I've been productive.
Yeah.
And I know that I've got a fair few commissions at the moment for paintings and stuff.
Amazing, mate.
And I know I've gone over deadlines. Like, I know I have. And they're like, oh, where's this fucking painting? And I've just had to message them about, yo, I'm not really feeling it at the moment, man, you know? And don't get me wrong, you'll receive your painting when you receive it, you know? But it's like, I don't know, say if I really wanted someone to do the absolute all, I won't put a time scale on it.
Yeah.
I won't put a time frame on it. There's no point, you know, because things like that really, really need time, and they really need to just come from the heart and come from pure emotion, because you'll get the best possible outcome.
Yeah.
Simple, you know.
Yeah, but it just comes back to that loneliness thing. It's like,
man.
if you're lonely, you're not feeling it, you're not going to do that artwork. You've got to, you've got to understand, if you're going to an artist, you know, look at most artists in the thing, you know, they all spent a lot of time, you know, Da Vinci,
man.
You know, all these, they just spent a lot of time in their own heads.
Da Vinci created his own sleeping pattern for the most, what the fuck was it? It was like the most productive way of sleeping, and it was like, I think it was like an hour and a half nap 4 times a day, or something like 2 hours a day, or some 2 4 hours.
He figured out the 2 rhythms in your life, the circadian and arcadian rhythm, and he put the time slots in there when he was up and when he was kind of down to do his thing. Yeah, sick,
nuts, mate.
Like nuts, sick.
You know.
Yeah.
And do you think someone that sleeps 4 times a day for an hour and a half is really going to want to go out to the pub after work? Yeah. You know, do you think they're really going to want to do that? You know, maybe they do. Maybe that's why they're doing it for. You know, or no, they're not, mate. You know, they're doing it because they know what they want. Yeah. And they're scheduling absolutely everything to fit that criteria. You know, to fit that and make it the most beneficial.
I think. You know, the way you are and the way I am, if we both have not found our thing to channel that energy into, it would have like been drugs or what's in your channel.
Oh yeah, man.
Fucking
I've done
really scary,
drugs, mate, you know?
Scary, innit?
I've hit it. I've done that. I've been there. I've done that. You know, I used to smoke so much fucking weed. It was unbelievable. I've cabbaged my head, absolutely cabbaged it. You know, my thought process isn't anywhere near as clear as it was, you know, 4 years ago before I started tattooing. And during lockdown, I was just in a fucking slum. You know, I was just in my fucking shitty little gaff.
What was the reason for you doing it?
What, drugs?
Yeah,
just because. So it was
because you didn't know the thing.
Yeah, it was. I wasn't doing what I wanted to do, and I noticed when I was smoking, you know, and I was doing drugs, I kind of like numb. Right. You just kind of like numb yourself to it. And
that safety we were talking about, it made you feel safe.
Yeah,
and
man,
like
that's like every single thing in life is like a lifeline. You know, like your diet plans, and fucking anything, sleeping patterns, drugs.
Yeah.
You know, absolutely everything, and it's whether it's beneficial for you or not. Yeah. You know, like all these mad artists used to take fucking shit loads of drugs before they started painting because they knew that their actual cerebral cortex couldn't work to the full capability just being sober. So they took these hallucinogenics to make them this fucking massive artist. And that's why we look at these amazing like pieces of artwork, because we're like, holy fucking shit, you know? No one's ever thought of that before. Like, that's nuts, you know? And that's why like all these AI things that are coming out now, you know, they're blowing our minds because they're not our minds using it, you know? They're not generated by humans, they're generated by artificial intelligence. That's fucked, mate.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nuts. And I think people are limited to their own brain and to their own habits and shit. You know, like if something really bad does happen in your life, you know, you're either gonna surround yourself with people that make you feel whole and give you that stability, you know. So I don't know, like friends, family, you know, you're always gonna like surround yourself with them because that makes you feel safe. And I get it, you know. But if you want to get like to a place where you feel whole within yourself and you don't have to be around people and stuff, and you kind of just more you know, whether you want to do it or not, you know,
gotta spend time with
you
you.
just gotta fucking do it. Personally, for me,
I think it's for everybody, mate.
I've always done it. I've always done it since I was a kid. Always.
The what's it's really opened my eyes. We told you about like doing the mushroom stuff, the hallucinogenics. It's like it's something I definitely know you'll be into.
Yeah, man. Oh fuck yeah.
It's
well down.
It's just beautiful, man. It's beautiful.
Oh god. Yeah. Honestly.
It's just all this is just noise, really.
That's what I mean. Yeah. It's when you actually
there's something massively bigger than yourself, like so much more.
Yeah, man.
So what's next for Rudy Foy and Wild Tattoo Studios? What a tattoo company.
There's
what are you and Ryan thinking?
There's a lot that me and Ryan are planning out for the studio. Whether I should say it on camera or not is different.
It's up to you, that.
You know. But there are big plans.
Yeah. It's nice you're selling your artwork down there, and Ryan's modelling. I love it. It's so because it's so much more than
just tattoos. Yeah.
Yeah. It's art. It's creativity. It's
us projecting ourselves inside the shop, and that's why when people come in, they're like, "Fucking hell, this is a really nice studio." And all me and Ryan don't really know how to like kind of take it, you know, and be like, all we've done is just put our shit in there. We've kind of just gone, just chucked a bit of our creativity in there. And I think a lot of people really need to do that. But what's next for Wild Tattoo Company? There's a fucking lot of things. We've got a really good plan in place. Whether I follow that or not, because I fucking hate regimes and shit like that, is a different story. But I know I'll follow it. It's just whether it fits with Ryan or not. But
I think he's right. I think like we're saying about the whiteboard, having them down. You know, he can do the structure bit.
Yeah,
you just come. You just come in, don't you, and just kind of do. You know what I mean? It's like there's no point telling you to right, Rudy. It doesn't fit with you. You've got to work what's best for you. But if I said to you, look, every time we have an idea, writing on that board, and then we'll tick it off when it feels right for us in the moment.
Yeah. So I get that. I fuck with that.
So.
But when it's like, you know, you need to do designs by 10:30, you know, your client's in at 11, and all this. Fuck, man. Jesus. Just time,
I think it's all right as long as the client has been communicated that that's how you are, and that's the way you work, which is totally cool, isn't
and
it?
a lot of people, you know, like,
but if they're expecting a society constraint, turn up this and you're probably best quit someone else, because that's not Rudy as an artist.
I've always kind of not really looked at a clock, mate. I don't really care about time. You know, time is money, and time is whatever you want time to be. And time for me is just that creative outlet and the opportunity to have more than what you do at the moment, if you get what I mean. It's time for me it's just possibilities, mate. You know, endless possibilities.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like relaxing. I do, but I fucking hate it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know, drips and drabs, mate.
Yeah, drips and drabs.
The majority of the time, I'm fucking, I'm cracking on with my stuff.
Yeah.
You know, because that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
That's how I want to spend my time, you know?
Yeah.
If you don't ever want to look at like price tags and live in this materialistic world of saving up for a new pair of shoes and fucking, you know, all these designer brands and all that pointless materialistic shit. If that's you, sick, you know, but you can't be looking at the clock all the time. If you don't want to look at a price tag on something, don't look at the clock when you're at work. That's all I'm going to say. So fucking easy, you know, because the more time you put into something, the more you get out of it. If you put fuck all in, you know, if you put absolutely no energy into something, you're going to get nothing back, you know. And that happens with everything: relationships, friendships, work, anything, food, drinking, whatever, you know. The more shit you put in, the more energy you put in, the more time you put in, the more you're going to receive, man.
Yeah, the more energy you'll get back.
Yeah, man.
1,000,000%, right. Yeah.
So it's just what you got to do, and it depends on where you want to put your time and what you want to put into. So
it's just good at like 21, mate. You just know what you want to be doing.
Yeah, man.
It's a gift. You know what I mean? It's a massive. I meet
man.
people, mate.
So
I know
bad.
it is, but I meet people 40s kind of still haven't got a clue what they want to be doing.
That's fucked.
Yeah,
I don't understand
looking at the
that.
clock all the time, the kind of 9 to 5. I know, but because they've not had anybody around them, mate, to shift the perspective to kind of say, look, there's much more, and you're not, you know, your purpose is there, and it's been talking to you, and it's eating away at you.
Yeah, man.
Buying a new car is not you. That's just a midlife crisis.
Yeah, man.
Right?
It is massively.
You need to have a look at what you truly love doing and get into that.
Yeah, man. It's like, recently I've been like, oh shit, you know, all this bollocks has happened, and then I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to buy these new clothes because it's going to make me feel better as a person.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I bought some new clothes because I need some new clothes because I'm like a tramp.
It's fine. It's just the thing don't last long, does it? That
no, does it fuck, mate? Like as soon as you've opened the parcel, you've wore it, and you're like, oh, that's sick, cool, right, done.
Sound next.
You know. And I was like, oh, you know, I'm going to buy this car and and I'm going to do this and do that. Fuck that. No, mate. So I've gone onto this graffiti website. I bought a shitload of cans, me and Ryan, and then we're just going to go out painting.
Sick.
Because Ryan hasn't painted in ages, you know. Well, me and Ryan have done a few projects like over the past couple of years, but we were never painting like we used to paint when we were younger and shit.
Yeah.
So we're getting a lot more into that, man. And I think that's really, really going to help us as people and really benefit our artwork, because it's just going to open up that like creative door.
Yeah.
Even more, mate. Even more. So, plans for Wild Tattoo Company, mate. We're going to take over the fucking world.
Perfect.
Simple. You know.
And inspire loads of people at the same time. Man.
Absolutely, we are.
Yeah.
You know. Don't get me wrong. I'm a very bubbly fucking, very just like firing all the time.
Yeah.
But I do have a soft side, and I do think methodically sometimes.
Yeah.
Whether I want to or not is a different story. But yeah, it's just that, man. But yeah, Wild Tattoo Company. Anyway, yeah, we've got a lot of stuff planned, and over this next year and year after that, you will see us a lot more. So, you know,
I'm excited for you.
Watch
mate.
out.
I'm excited for both of you.
Yeah, watch out.
That's it, mate. I'm gonna wrap it up.
Sweet.
I appreciate you coming on.
No dramas, dude. No dramas. Thank you for having me.
Do I like the fact that you sort of like diluted a little bit? Has it been quite nice? Because
Yeah,
you've been,
sell
to be
out,
honest,
yeah,
you've
you
been quite nicely straight to the point in stuff. Where otherwise, sometimes you start at the end, then go to the beginning,
mate, I'm all over
and then
the place.
finish off the middle.
Yeah,
I'm like, I understand what you're saying, Rudy, but nobody else does.
Yeah. I just thought, you know what, I'm coming on this fucking podcast. I better
Appreciate
have
it.
a bit of structure,
Appreciate
a bit of plan
it.
to my shit. So
I just think anybody like 21 and that, just having you as a role model, mate. I think it's sick.
Yeah,
You're so emotionally aware and
models.
really
Yeah, I don't want to be that role model. I'm just doing me.
Yeah, but I know, but that is a
people
role
look at me-
model.
Yeah, and if people look at me and they go, "Fucking hell, I wish I could do that."
Yeah.
Do it. Nothing's stopping you, man. Nothing.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Apart
Putting
from
all-
society's constraints.
Oh, fuck society, mate. Absolutely fuck it. I couldn't care less. Honestly. As long as I'm doing the shit that I want to do during the day, I'm fine. That's it. Nothing's going to get in my way. Simple as. I'm never going to let it.
And that's the end of the podcast. Thank you very much for listening, everybody.
Yeah, innit. Peace.
Goodbye.
Tim Marner, what, you're bragging with the best. Tim Marner, what, you're bragging with the best.